What up guys and girls, welcome to another YouTube tutorial for the Making Beats for Fun series. We're going to be doing a trap beat using Reason. I'll show you guys one or two tips and tricks as well with Reason. How to import some MIDI, how to stack up some layers to get kind of more fat sounds. So let's begin. Class is in session. I have my Reason open up. This is my mix over here. What I'll do is I'll choose the mastering. I'll choose hip hop. It's got quite a big kick in the bass. The tempo, I'll probably push it up a bit more. I like my trap beats a bit more faster with a bit swing. So let's just loop the section. You can either have 8-bar or 4-bar loop from here left to right. I think what I'll do is I'll work with a 4-bar loop for the drums. Okay, so another quick trick, just below my mix over here, I'm going to right click. I'm going to be creating an equalizer, and just below that just a phaser as well. So I'll show you guys how to apply to my redrum. So right click, choose your redrum. And yep, you can either select your own drum sounds or you can choose kits from Reason. So I'll be using my own drum sounds. It's good to kind of buy or download sounds from various websites. It's also good to separate maybe into folders your kicks, your snares, your hi-hats. So just gonna load up my sounds quickly with my kick. So we'll just turn down the volume for the master for now a little bit. Okay, so yep, my kick. Moving to the right, I'll have my clap. Okay, and now my hi-hat. Just the tip, what I'll do is I'll load my hi-hat 3 times. So on this channel and then again on this channel. And again one more time. And what I'll do is just change the pitch. So the first one I'll leave it as is with a pitch, and then the next one I can pitch it up a bit, and the third one I can maybe pitch it down. So I have just to give it a bit of a swing, I'll show you guys the 1/16 or 132 or 64 step for the hi-hats. Okay, moving on to just an open hi-hat. So as you go along you can control each volume of each separate channel. And what else we need in there? I've got a just put a snare. I've got a vocal chant as well, and you can also load up sounds from Reason. So bring up your browser, go to Reason folder, factory sound bank, redrum drum kits at the bottom, exclusive drum sorted. Just choose an effect just to build up my drums. It's gonna play quite loud when I click on it. Let's try this one. Okay, so bring down the volume. Okay, so yeah, kick, clap, 3 hi-hats just pitched up or down, open hi-hat, just an effect, vocal chant, and a snare as well. So the reason I've done the EQ and the phaser just below my mixer, for instance, if I wanted to apply low cut, maybe a bit of EQ to my kick over here, my send 1, if I push that to say 100%, so you see it's taking the low ends of the kick and a bit of EQ. So it's just applied to the kick, to this channel. So now I can bring down my length of the kick and the volume. clap I'll leave as is. For the hi-hat, I'm going to do send 2, so my phaser will be send 2, the EQ will be send 1, so push that to 100%. You can apply the sync button and then just play around with the feedback of the phaser, just to give it like a stereo wide effect, I guess. Okay, moving on to my drum pattern. So I guess we could start off, I think 120 would be a bit too slow, so push it up to maybe 140, 150. So this is your instrument rack. If you click this button here, this is your sequencer, and then you have your step editor as well. So let's begin. Choose your pencil tool, just draw in 1 to 5, a 4-bar loop, click on your edit mode, and let's begin with our drums. So give me a couple of minutes, just zoom out. Okay, so kick, clap, hi-hat, open hi-hat, some effect in there, vocal chant and a snare. Guess we could start with the kick, or let's begin actually with the hi-hat. So leave it a 1/16 step, choose the pencil tool, and we can draw it in manually. So every second step, boom, boom, boom. I'll be giving you guys the RPS file as well, so you don't have to start with your drums, but for me I prefer starting with drum sounds, so I can have a drum pattern, I can play around with the tempo. I can either upload a sample from one of the kits, or I can import MIDI. I'll show you guys how to do that as well. So if I press play, you see the stereo effect with the phaser. Go back to the Reason thing, we can pull down the volume on the hi-hat, and let's bring up the tempo. Let's make it a bit faster. We can even try 155, even faster if you want. I prefer them with a bit of bounce and swing. So moving on, clap, I've just got the one clap. You can layer the claps with snares or other claps as well. For now I'm just going to leave it with one. So usually draw it on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th step, and then on the second bar again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if we press play, boom, ba, boom, 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 boom. So keep going. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I can add my kicks. So let's just do a kick on the first step. So boom, 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 boom. Okay, so let's add a few more kicks. I can do one on here, one on there. I can do one just at the end to get a double bump. What else? Probably around, let's try here and here, and probably try around here as well. So one, boom, 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 boom. So yeah, just a basic pattern, but with the other elements we'll build up on it. So I think the clap can shorten the length a bit, make it a bit softer. Yep, so your mixer section as well. If I click my EQ over here, I can control the treble and the bass as well, and my volume of the whole drum pattern. And below that, if I, for instance, add a compressor just to bring it together, so just add a compressor below that. Okay, let's get back to the drum pattern. So here I've got my hi-hat that's pitched up and my hi-hat that's pitched down. So this will take a little bit longer, but we change the snap to 164, and then we can draw in kind of 8 little hi-hats to give it some swing. So probably say around here maybe. Let's have a look. So 1, 2, no, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's try 8. So you hear that? Boom, 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 boom. So we don't stop there. We keep going. We keep going. I think probably right at the end again we'll draw another 8, 2, 3. So if you want to undo it, Command Z or Control Z to undo it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's try 7. Yeah. Okay, so that's the hi-hats that's pitched up. Just gonna even try add another one in there. Yeah. And I've got my hi-hat that's pitched down. So this again we can play around and see what we can come up with. Let's change it back to 116 and probably let's say about here. To 1, 2, 3, 4. So okay, so it's coming together. I think we can do the 164 again at about say here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's try 6. Yeah, seems to work. So we keep going, we keep going. Let's back to 116, draw another one there. And we keep going again, maybe change it up to driving 132 steps. Let's try over here. 1, nope. 1, 2, maybe 3 and 4. Yep, that can work as well. Where else? Where else? Maybe back to 164 again. Probably. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At about here again. So nope. So if you want to delete it, you can select it and just backspace and delete. Okay, let's move on to the open hi-hat. So bring it down to 116. Probably on the first step. Again on the 2, 3, 4, maybe here. So it's boom, boom. Probably here again. I think there's hi-hats. Let's just put them about here. Choose my pencil tool again. Yep. Okay, so bum 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 bum. Change it back to 116. Bum 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 bum. So yeah, I'm spending a bit of time on the drum pattern. So we're just pulling up on our track. So yep, each individual sound has got its level, length, the pitch. Okay, and just to vary the clap, I'm going to add a snare in there as well. So something like this, maybe. So let's just play it and we'll fill in the snare sounds. So perhaps there. Da-da-da-da. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we're building up on our track with our drums. Okay, so this is kind of the backbone of the track. So now we can either, if you know how to play the piano, you can play a melody or import MIDI or import a sample. So I think I'll show you guys quickly. So right click, I usually use the NNXT, and I pull down the remote editor over here. Click on your browser, and I have a sample from one of the kits, and I think I've played it in Virtual DJ, and I think the BPM was around 79, 80 BPM. So if we double that, it'll be around probably 160. So we can bring down just the volume, go back to your sequence over here, and then if I press on the keyboard editor, So what I'll do is draw in with my pencil. So it'll play the loop from 1 to 5. I think what I'll do is just make it a bit longer. So let's drag it. We can do 16 bars. And now need to go back into the edit mode, and just with this, just drag it so it will play out the full loop. So all the way till 16th bar. Okay, and left and right cursor, so drag it all the way there, and then your drum. So to double your drum pattern, Control C, Control V, or Command C, Command V. And let's press play. So this is my channel volume for my sample. So you can give it a bit of bass, treble as well. Maybe pan it to the left a bit. So yeah, that's one way. If you get stuck for sounds, just to load up a sample, and I can add my 808 to it. Okay, so I'm just gonna mute that sample for now. I'll show you guys quickly. Another way is to import MIDI files. So MIDI files you can get from various websites. I usually buy a couple of samples as well, and MIDI files from Modern Producers or Producer's Choice. So go to your Reason, File, Import MIDI over here. And yep, I've got a couple of MIDI files, which is the piano keys that's been played out. So when you first import a file into Reason, it will pitch it to whatever the MIDI file is. So this was 140 BPM, and it brings up a combinator. So if I just, looks like it's a 4-bar loop. If I double click on it, these are the keys. So now we need to add an instrument to be able to play these keys. So go to your combinator, browse, Reason folder. I can go to Reason Factory Sound, your combinator patches. Let's try bells. I think was a good sound in there. The Metheny marimba. Okay, so now it's loaded up the sound, and it should be able to play the MIDI. Let's click on our EQ, bring down the volume a bit, press play. We can solo it as well. Okay. So we can take the bass away, bring up the treble, can pan it left, right. So you see, just yeah, if you want to download or buy a couple of MIDI files, it will help you with your production. So literally just file, import MIDI. It will bring up your combinator. Just have to load a sound for the step editor, the MIDI roll edit to be able to play the keys. So if I unsolo it, I think I still prefer my beats a bit faster. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's the other trick, importing MIDI files. And now what we want to do, bring out some of the bass. Bass. So I can use an NXT again. Bring down the remote editor. And I'm going to choose this bass called Weapon of Bass Destruction from the kit Weapons of Bass Destruction. So I can either go back to my sequencer, throw in a 4-bar pattern. I can either go window, show on-screen keys, and play it like I would a normal instrument. So your C3 is your root key. So another good trick, I think, for playing the 808s, if you go to your keys over here, these are your root keys. So why don't we do just select the root keys. So you can Control C or Command C to copy it, go into your 808, and then I think all you do is just Control V to paste it, and it follows the root key of the piano that we just played. Okay, so we can add a few variations to the 808 as well, but let's beef up the 808. We can either use a high pass filter, or for Reason I think there's this scream effect that beefs up the sound. So go back to your instruments, just let's make that a bit smaller. Okay, so if I right click and add, for instance, just a compressor, it will only be applied to my 808. I can right click and add another effect, let's have a look, Scream 4. Okay, so this definitely beefs up the 808 as well. I can control the EQ of the 808. Okay, it's going to be a bit loud, so there's EQ here as well. Let's solo it. Okay, yep, so we're just pulling up on the track. What I've done is imported a MIDI, loaded up 808. So the 808 is following the root key of the piano, so we can add some variation to the 808 as well. So I can choose one, I can Command C, Command V, or Control C, Control V. Let's have a look if we play it, say maybe here. Nope. So let's bring it closer. Boom. Yep, I think we can make this note longer. Dun, 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 dun. add another note. Control C, Control V. Drag it about there, perhaps, maybe. Nope. Trigger one back. I think we can add one more note over here. Yep, so that's the other trick. So we can have just the MIDI file and the 808, or if we have the sample, that one was 160 BPM. So what I'll do, I'll give you guys both the MIDI and the sample as well. The good thing with the MIDI files is, even though I'm playing at a 160, it will keep the tempo. So I can go down. Okay, moving on. What else can I show you guys? So right click. Let's choose a Dr. Octarex loop player. We can add Reason folder, Reason sound bag. Can go to instrument loops, various hip hop loops. I think just to stack up the layers a little bit. Stack them up. Crisp 92. Let's see what this does. Click on the EQ. Bring down the volume. Yeah, we can even below it add a reverb. Right click, we can add even a delay to it. Yep, so what else? You guys have kind of two options to play with the MIDI or to use a sample. Another little trick to get a sort of a fat sound from a combinator. So let me think. Right click, choose a combinator, which is over here. So whatever instruments I add below it, so I need to just create a line mixer. So it'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 channels, and within this combinator I can create, for instance, Thor. I can create another Thor. Can do another Thor, and maybe just a Maelstrom. Okay, So this is just for you guys to mess about with. You choose a synth sound, choose another synth sound, so a different one within the Thor, choose another one, and for the last one you can choose a pad. Okay, so this will be quite loud. Let me bring down the volume. Will be on this channel over here. And if I bring my on-screen piano, so it combines all those sounds together to give you a big sound. So if we want to test it, we can just drag the MIDI from the piano sound, just mute it. Okay, so it's quite loud. Let's bring down the volume. Let's mute the 808 as well. So this you can play around and just choose different sounds. So what it does is the combinator, when it creates a 6-channel mixer and you add Thor or Maelstrom sounds, it combines them to play one big sound. Can add a bit of reverb to it as well. So if I play the MIDI with the original piano one, yeah, 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 money, yeah, and if I don't want any of those sounds, bring up my tempo to 160 for the sample. So now if you wanted to play the 808 on this, we need to find out what the root key is. Yeah, what? Class is in session. What? Yeah. Class is in session. Boom. Then again, I can choose the 4-bar loop, mute the sample, bring the other sounds in. Can either keep it at 160 BPM. I think for this one, I'll probably play around 155. Yeah, I think that's about it. I'll give you guys the Reason file. So start with the drums, with a sample, importing MIDI. I can copy the pattern for my drums as well. Kick, clap, hi-hat times 3, open hi-hat, some weird effect, chant and a snare. Yeah, with the drum beat you can change the BPM, make it slower, faster. Then you can add your 808. guess the last thing I can maybe show is, thing I've done in another video, is to, when you record, maybe your volume. Let's see. So I can right click on that if I bring down the volume all the way and click edit automation. So it will be starting at 0. And once I press record, oh sorry, it's solid out. Okay, so it's editing the automation. You right click edit automation, you can bring it down to 0, and then it recorded that, so it starts off at 0, and I'll bring up the volume. Okay, I think that's all for today, guys. Till next time, we're making them trap beats. I've done another trap beat with Machine. I will upload soon. But for now, enjoy this tutorial. So I'll give you guys this file. Have fun, make beats, and enjoy. See ya.